Flosstube. It is Michelle from Made by Michelle McGraw, and this is Flosstube number 71. It is April 21st, 2022. Thank you everybody for joining me. If you are new here, like and subscribe, and thank you for joining me. And if you're returning, welcome back, friends. So thank you for spending your time with me. I do not have any new fully finishes this week. I have not been sewing. I did leave my iron on the counter from ironing the things that I'm going to show in the video. And I'm hoping that when I get done filming, I will do some sewing this afternoon. We'll see. That's my plan. I didn't put it away, so hopefully I will. I think I go through phases where I just want to stitch. I don't want to fully finish. I really do have to push myself to fully finish stuff because I am horrible at stacking up fully finishes and putting them in my room and ignoring them. I need to fully finish. So I do try to push myself. I did not these last, I think it's been 3 weeks since I filmed. Today is the day. I will sew. I didn't want to not film a Flosstube today because if I didn't film today, then it would be Tuesday or Wednesday next week when I filmed. So I thought, no, that's silly. I'll go ahead and film and I'll just have some finishes to show next time. So I did pull some fully finishes that I had from previous years that are some of my favorite to share with you guys. So I have 3 that I pulled. I'll show those in just a little bit. I hope everybody had a really great Easter. We had a very low-key Easter. We did grill out that evening with all the kids. My son's girlfriend was here. So that was nice because the kids don't really like ham. So I said, we don't have to have ham. Let's just grill. We all like to grill. So I did that. I made one of their favorite desserts, which is strawberry stuff. I made that. We just had a nice dinner. It was very nice. I did get the younger 2 boys new nightstands and lamps for their Easter baskets. And I found the nightstands that I liked at IKEA, which I'm not a huge IKEA fan for furniture necessarily. I love their office and organizational stuff, but literally I've looked all over. IKEA was the only place that had what I wanted. So I gave them their nightstands and I also bought them lamps to go on them. And they had to put them together. So Easter afternoon, my younger 2 boys, which are 15 and 17, were putting together IKEA nightstands. The 15-year-old took the longest because he did his first, and like he would stop and he'd like, oh, I have this upside down. And he'd have to take it back off and redo it. And then the 17-year-old walks in like a rock star and he's like, hey, Jesse, help me put my nightstand together. Come on, help me. And of course, by that time, Jesse didn't even have to look at the directions because he remembered how to put it together and he remembered his errors. So the second one didn't take as long, but they were, I think, not as happy with their IKEA nightstands in their Easter basket after having to put them together. As anyone who has put together IKEA stuff, their directions are not super helpful. I mean, there's pictures, but like, it's so easy. I've done it before putting some of their stuff together. It's so easy to put stuff upside down or the wrong side. So I was laughing watching them put these together. So, and what a con man my 17-year-old was to con the 15-year-old into helping him. And he's the one that's like super mechanic-y, but he apparently doesn't like woodwork stuff. So anyhow, they got together and they got them done and they're in their rooms and they look great. So that was kind of our Easter. It was very low key. It was nice. So I hope you guys had a good Easter. I do have some stash to show you. A lot of my stash, not all, but a lot of it comes from my local needlework shop, Stitch and Frame. And if you haven't heard, Stitch and Frame in Rock Hill, South Carolina is closing. I think they're closing sometime in May is their last day. I was able to go down there last week, which is kind of another reason why I didn't do a Flosstube because I spent that day going down to the store. I was able to take down 2 pieces that I had to be framed and then 1 piece for my sister to get framed. She had another piece, but she wanted it in a circle frame and we kind of chit-chatted, and I said, that's going to be a really expensive frame. You know, it was kind of like a pop culture thing. And so I said, I'll ask, but I don't think they do circle frames. They did not. So I said to her, I said, or I think she went oval, not circle. She's going to try to find an antique frame to put it in, and then I will try to help her frame it. Between the two of us, I think we can figure it out. I've never actually totally framed something, but can't be that hard, right? We'll see. So I took my framing down there. I took 2 pieces that I had, picked out my frames. One I was very extravagant with because it was the Amazing Grace piece from Heartstring Samplery that I stitched in honor of my dad. As soon as she put it down, that was the frame. And she's like, oh, this is kind of expensive. I'm like, I don't care. That's what it is. That's the frame I want. And then the other one, I picked out a frame that was the not wedding sampler, but I've shown it in a Flosstube. It was on the rainbow fabric. I can't remember the name. Through the Storm from Silver Creek Sampler. And I took that one down there to be framed as well. So I picked those up when they call me. I think I'm supposed to go back May 4th. The store is closing. The owner is retiring, and they just weren't able to get somebody to buy the store. So it is closing. And that store, I did ask, I think that store has been open since the 70s. So super, super sad about that. So I'm very much going to miss Stitch and Frame, as I think everybody who walked in there, especially when I was in there, and I'm sure it happened the whole time, people were just saying, oh, we're going to miss you. And, you know, I think it's going to be very felt. I hate that they're closing, but I also understand somebody that wants to retire and get on with their life and enjoy their years that they have left and travel and see things that they haven't been able to because they've been tied to a store. So totally get that. I hate that I'm not going to have my Stitch and Frame. They do beautiful framing. I've never worried about a piece taking it down there. So I'm going to have to find some other place to frame my stuff. So if you are in the Charlotte area, when I say Charlotte area, I will drive 2 hours if I need to. That's probably my max. But do you guys know anyone that frames well, needlework well? If you do, reach out to me and leave me a comment or send me a message, because I'd love to know, because I'm really, really going to miss the framing that they do. So I have haul from there, but I also had some haul come in, so I'm going to share that. It's kind of all together, so I'll be able to tell you what I had possibly from each store. So we'll see. All right, let's get on with the stitching because we are 7 minutes in. I'm going to show 3 fully finishes that I've done in the past that I just have up for spring that I really, really like. The first one is H is for Honey, and it is from the Prairie Schooler Alphabet series. There's a whole series of these patterns. They're all about this size. I think there may be 1 or 2 that are 1 or 2 stitches bigger or smaller. But I did H is for Honey, and that is my backing fabric. And I love these. These are really, really pretty. My goal is to eventually do all of them, but I have stitched them or started them. This was the first one. Excuse me, now I have the hiccups. Hopefully they'll go away. This is the first one that I stitched. And I've also started the Indian corn one for fall. My idea was to stitch them in seasonal and then finish up with the ones that didn't maybe quite fit in seasonal. So, excuse me. It is allergy season in North Carolina and everything is blooming. If you wash your car in the morning, it will be green by the afternoon. So I am so gunky and sneezing, and yeah, I didn't put my eye drops in this morning. Normally my eyes are itching. Everybody, if you're in North Carolina, if you're in the South right now, you know, everybody is sneezing and it's ridiculous. So we're having some beautiful weather, but whew, allergies are no joke. Okay, the next one that I'm going to show is from the spring pattern. I think it's just says spring from Hands On Design with Priscilla Blaine, and it had spring and then it had flowers around it and a bunny, and I just did the bunny. So I did stitch this on, I think this is from Fiber on the Whim. I want to say Night Sky, which I really like. I think it's Night Sky. I could be wrong, but I know it's Fiber on the Whim. Theirs is probably my second favorite fabric, Aida, to stitch on. I like a soft Aida. Picture This Plus is my first favorite. Fiber on the Whim, a close second. And then here's the backing fabric, just some spring fabric. So that's another finish that I had previously. And then my last one that I wanted to reshare is from the March, was it Trucking Along? From Stitching with the Housewives. I just did the bottom part. I did not do the March. I need to go back and do the March. But I finished that. I really, really like this one. I think I love the tulips. I think they're just so pretty. And then I finished it with polka dot material. So that is 3 finishes that I have up on my fall, or on my spring display that I just enjoyed and wanted to share those for some fully finishes. And hopefully I will have more fully finishes to show you next time. So, all right, let me get out my board so I can show you. I have some notes to go. Okay, one note. On my Flosstube number, I think it's 69, I had winners for my 25-year anniversary celebration, and I still have a couple outstanding. Not many. A lot of people contacted me, and I have mailed out everybody's that has contacted me. So if you haven't gotten yours and you contacted me and I didn't email you back, then email me again, because I didn't get it. Because if I responded to you, I would have said, hey, I'm mailing out today, and I would have responded back to your email. So if you haven't gotten that, let me know. Send me a message again. My email will be down below. And then everybody's has been mailed. Now, I've got a lot of people that say, hey, I got the pattern in the mail. Thank you. Oh, pooper nooper. I forgot to bring over a card. I got a beautiful card from one of the winners, and she sent me some stamps, which was super, super sweet. So thank you so much. And I had it stuck with my pile and I forgot to bring it over. So thank you so much for that. That was super sweet. But if I have mailed everything that I have responded to. So I'm very optimistic in the responses that I've got. The post service is getting a little better. For a while there, it was questionable. Even in my business, like people would say I mailed a check and it would be like 3 weeks later and we didn't get the check. And these seem to be going well. So fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Okay, so if you entered to win any of those, go back and watch the video and see if I called your name. Because I've had a couple that haven't contacted me. And so I'd love to send those out for you. If I don't hear from you in this next time before my next floss tube, since it will have been 2 floss tubes, I'm going to just put them back in the stack. So that's kind of what I do. I give it like 2 floss tubes in case, you don't watch every week. Maybe you don't have enough time. That's fine. But after that, because my floss tubes are roughly 2 to 3 weeks apart. And so I feel like that's probably enough time for everybody to have watched it if they wanted to. And then I'll just put it back in the stash and redraw it at another time and do those. I don't have any giveaways today because I want to clear out those that I have and make sure I get everybody's out. So go watch if you didn't watch, and see if your name's called. Okay, let me show you what I have been up to. So the first one that I finished, now none of these are fully finished. Hold on, I have a fuzz. Okay, it's just gonna be a fuzz up at the top. This is Surf Life from Hands On Design. And I have had these charts. I don't know how many there is. There's probably 12 of them, I think, or something very similar to that number. It's a lot. And I've had them for a really, really long time. I actually ordered these. I think these came out, where did I see? 2016. And I believe at the time I ordered them as a kit, fully kitted with a frame as well. And I want to say from Crazy Annie's, but I'm not 100% sure, but I think that was it. And I've had these just in a bag all together with all the floss. It's tons of floss. And I was like, I need to stitch this. So I stitched this up. I used the called for floss, and I used the fabric that came with the kit. It is an Aida. It looks to me like it's a 16 count. And I want to say, I don't want to venture who the fabric's by because I don't remember. I do have the frame. It's not this frame. It's like a tealy frame that came with them. I'm a little worried that the frame that it's not going to fit because I think this is 16 count. I don't know. I'm going to pull out the frame and see if it works. I'll use it. If it doesn't, I won't. But here is my finish. Now, this is a little different colorways than this. This shows it as way brighter. I like the muted colors though. So I didn't redo them because I thought they were very pretty, but it doesn't look like the picture. So just so you know, if you do stitch this, if you really, really like the way it looks in the picture, maybe pick your own colors. But it is very pretty. So that's the first one. I wasn't going to do any beach themes. I was going to wait until next year, and I'll show you a finish that I did that I just couldn't resist doing, and that kind of led me into, let me do another beach one to go with it. So, okay, now this one was actually a whip from 2020, and I decided I was not going to fully finish, I wasn't going to fully finish the pattern because it was not going to fit the fabric the way I wanted it to, and I didn't want to do it I didn't want it any bigger. So this is Annie B's folk art, God Save the Queen. Now I really, really like that, but I wasn't going to do the border. And once I used the 30 count Prim B linen from Primitive Hair. So when I figured out, because I had God Save stitched, I had some of this in here. I took it all out. I finished the work on the B and I said, I'm done. I'm gonna just do the B because it wasn't gonna fit. And then if it did, it would be too big for the finish I had. So as you can see, like God Save was here, and then you would have had here. To get the full effect of the linen, it would have had to be quite big, and I wasn't framing this. So I decided, no, I wasn't gonna do that. It was still very pretty. I will cut the B out and do that as a little mini for my bee stuff. And the bee has her crown on. So very, very pretty linen, but it needed to be quite big to use this piece. So yeah, that would have been more like a sofa pillow size. So that's not what I was looking for. So I'm just using the B. I didn't get rid of it. I am using it. You will see another whip that I did the same thing with that I kind of decided, I didn't throw it away. I'm using the stitching that I did, and I'm going to use it as a pillow, a mini pillow. So, and I'll save some of that linen too. I'll be able to save some of it. Okay, so the next finish that I have is Farm Sweet Farm from the Stitching with the Housewives. Now, I can't show you this pattern because this was a free pattern, so it doesn't have a cover page. It was a free pattern with another chart. I stitched this on 14 count Murky, and I did change the colors since I was not doing it on black, and I changed it to a black and white cow. And my cow I stitched mostly black and then did the white spots. I've seen other people that did white with black spots. They look really good either way. So that is Farm Sweet Farm. And I picked just like, I think I did brighter green. Yeah, like instead of using Little Sprout, I used steamed broccoli. Instead of using black, I don't know if you could tell, which was supposed to be the roasted chestnut, I used Color and Cotton rustic black, and I really, really like rusted black. I did look to see if they had any more, and it was out of stock. So as soon as they come back in, I'm gonna have to order some more of that floss. It's really pretty. I would say Color and Cotton is one of my favorite flosses to use, so I really enjoy their floss. All right, the next one that I have finished is Bless This Farm from Stitching with the Housewives. There's the pattern. And this is going for my farm theme, and I did 3 of these together, all on murky fabric. So there is Bless This Farm. Now, this was a test run for me for a whip, and I will tell you about that in just a little bit. All right, the next one is Farm Fresh Eggs from Stitching with the Housewives. And keeping with the set, I did this on 14 count murky. I did change up the colors a little bit. Like I didn't do the white lettering up here. I did it in black to kind of pull in that black from the other patterns. This was supposed to be done in green and white. I did it in black and white. And I cannot tell you how many times I ripped that out. Because you would think if I stitched it, I would have stitched the black where the green was supposed to be. But no, silly me was stitching it where the white was supposed to, yeah. Crazy, crazy. Anyhow, I ripped it out several times. Oh, gracious, I don't know why. It was messing with my mind. All right, the next one is actually a whip that I had from 2020, and it is 1864 EF Sampler. Now, I had kind of fallen out of love with the fabric that I chose, and I kind of wasn't loving it, and I thought, rather than continue, because this is a big sampler, I'm going to finish the piece that I started, which is the cow. I started down here with the cow. I'm gonna finish the cow, make him into a pillow, and then put this back in my stash to eventually restart this again at some point. I do know that this was stitched with Mama Loves You GB. She started this. I don't know how far along she is. I think she started with the alphabet, so she was way farther along. I stitched this on 20 count boardwalk from Color and Cotton. And this pattern, I got mine from the summer. This is Sampler and Antique Needlework Quarterly, summer 2011, number 63. So that's where you can find that. I have the disc that has all of them in it, so that's how I found mine. Like I said, I think the sampler is beautiful, but I think I want to restart it on something different. So I finished the cow. Instead of just throwing, and there's a lady down here, I thought she was milking the cow, but I don't know if that's a milk cow or not. I don't know enough about cows to know, but I finished that part, and I'm just going to sew it into a pillow for my farm display. So at least the piece that I started, I'm going to use. So, and then I can, when I restart that, I can pick fabric, different fabric. All right, so this one is what inspired me to stitch the Surf Life Beach one. So this is from Soda Stitch, which I have wanted to do a Soda Stitch pattern forever. I've never done one. I've been wanting to do one, and I started Aloha Sisters. Now, I am not doing them as a long strand like this. I am going to pick individual ones. I think I'm going to only do the taller ones, the older sisters, so to speak. And I started with her over here, and I would love to do these into stand-ups. So I think they're super cute. I stitched this on 16 count Aruba Green from XJude Designs. And yeah, so here she is. Now, this is one of my favorite pieces that I've ever done. I think she is so cute. She pops. I did a TikTok. My TikTok is Made by Michelle McGraw, where I show her before backstitching and then after backstitching. You can also see it on my Instagram under, I think I saved it under the talks. I need to go look that I actually saved it. I might not have. I need to go look. But it is on my TikTok in case you're on TikTok. So you could see her before backstitching and then after backstitching. And she is super cute. I love her on this fabric. I think she'll make a really cute stand-up. I mean, her features are so pretty. Like, her little face is so pretty. Those are the details in Sew to Stitch that I just think are awesome. So I really, really liked that. I would love to do another one. I don't think I'm going to get to it this season, but I have it all kitted, so I will be able to do that at next year. I'll be able to pick it up. All right, now we're into my whips. So I have a couple whips going. I have my travel project, which I have started working on. The Happy Birthday song from Toldinthegardensal Cross Stitch. They are on Etsy. So it's the little Happy Birthday song. And let me show you my progress. I only work on this when we're out to eat at a certain restaurant. I know that sounds weird, but it's a restaurant that I can actually stitch in. And so I don't get tons done on it, but you know, I have the first bar done, but I need to add in like there's little critters. And then I'm working on the second bar and you know, it's coming along. I'm working on this on Fabric Flare. I think it's Pale Gray Gingham, I think is what it's called. So that's in my to-go bag. Okay. My next whip, I have finally started the Home is Where the Wreath Is from Stitching with the Housewives. Now, when I first saw this, it was okay. But then I saw the wreath part that you change out and I loved it. Especially when I saw the set 2. Now I have set 1 and 2 coming from 1, 2, 3 Stitch. So I decided to start the letters, but I have in my haul some hack that I'll show you in case you don't want to stitch these letters, okay? So here's the pattern from Stitching with the Housewives. Here's the great thing about this pattern. You can do it horizontally or vertically if you finish it like Priscilla did, which this is the board from Hobby Lobby. And I will put up the little sign in case anybody wants the sticker. I got mine on sale. And you can finish it horizontally or vertically. And if you put it on magnets, you can switch that. So I really, really liked that idea of having an option because I have a horizontal place in my house that would be perfect for this. But, you know, our goal eventually is to build a house at our farm. And maybe where I would put it would change. So I like the fact that if I just put enough magnets on it, I can flip them either way. Loved that. That was a huge selling point, I'm not gonna lie. So that is it. And I have started mine. And this is what the farm ones were kind of checking out. This is the H. I started it yesterday. I don't have great work, but it is on 14 count Murky from Picture This Plus. So I don't mind stitching on black, but I will say, and I don't know how to describe this, black almost pulls me down a little bit. And so when I stitch one piece on black, I don't want to stitch another one right away on black. And obviously that's not really going to work for this wreath set. So I was trying to think of something else. I've seen tons and tons of stuff in the Stitching with the Housewives group. Somebody did it on white board fabric from Fabric Flare. It was beautiful. So they stitched the letters in black, did it on white, a whitish fabric. I think it was white bead board from Fabric Flare. I've seen it in different colors. I've seen it on the black. It's beautiful too. So I really like murky fabric. I have tons of murky fabric and I thought I'm going to use murky. It's what I like. I may have to change some of the colors on the wreaths, but I will go ahead and tell you, Stitching with the Housewives patterns are probably one of the easiest patterns to change colors that I have found. They're very, very forgiving. So if you don't have a color, you can easily substitute a color. or if you just want it brighter or more muted, whatever you want. They're very, very forgiving patterns. So I felt like that was an easy thing for me to be able to do, especially because I did the 3 farm ones on Murky and I really liked them. So I thought, I'm going to do the letters. Now, when it first came out, I was like, there's no way I'm stitching those letters. I decided I wanted to try it. I do have a hack in my haul. I'll just go ahead and show it first, and then I'll show you the rest. So you can go to Hobby Lobby, because I looked at this, and you can get a sign that says home, and it has, I think, a wreath. It's painted on board, and then you could just put your wreath on top of it. You could have put a magnet there and put that piece. I wasn't crazy about that idea because it was vertical. I could not find any horizontal pieces anywhere that I could do that with. So I would have been stuck doing it vertical. I really wanted this piece horizontal. So that's why I decided to get the board. But if you didn't want to stitch the letters, and as of yesterday, I decided to try to stitch them, but I have an idea for these letters. So these letters, it's HME in here. These are from 141 Design Company on Etsy, and I will link them down below. And you can get these letters and you can paint them any color you want, and then you could adhere them to your sign. So because I'm trying to stitch these, or I decided to stitch them, I'm not using my letters right now, but then I thought this would make a really cute wedding gift for somebody, and just stitch the wreaths, and I could use the letters. So, like, let's say my son were to get married, this would be a really cute home wedding, any kind of gift like that, and then do several of the wreaths. And then I could give them a new wreath, like at holidays. We'll see. So I'm saving my letters. I didn't use them. I might just get really sick and tired of stitching letters and say, I'm using the letters. Anyhow, 141 Design Company on Etsy. That is a hack, so you wouldn't have to stitch letters. You could just stitch the wreaths. All right, which I'm sure is known to a lot of people. So there you go. All right, my last whip is a SAL that Vanna Pfeiffer and I are doing. So if you love Told in a Garden patterns, and you've always wanted to do one, this is the SAL for you. So here's the deal. There is no time limit. There is no, you have to do this pattern. If you have any Told in the Garden pattern that you wanted to stitch, jump in. It is #ToldInTheGardenSal. And I will put that down below and use that hashtag so we can see your progress. And that way we can encourage everybody. I can see what you're stitching, you can see what I'm stitching, and I can stitch some of these Told with the Garden patterns. So my friend Katie from Katie Carney Stitching, I was texting her this morning and telling her about the SAL, and she said, oh, I might have to go buy a pattern to join in the SAL. And I said, yeah, I don't think there's any more Told in the Garden patterns available that I don't have. So collecting is different than stitching. Anyhow, so #ToldInTheGardenSal. Jump in with us, stitch anything, show your progress. And I have started, and it starts anytime. This is an ongoing SAL. As Vanna said, as long as she doesn't have to consider it a SAL in her mind, maybe she'll keep up with it. So this is just to encourage us, because we love Told in the Garden charts. I love them. I have so many of them, and I need a boost to stitch them. This is the perfect one. So I am doing Farmer's Market from Told in the Garden, which is this one. I love anything with a barn, first of all, but I also love that the barn has an auction. My husband goes to auctions all the time. Not quite barn auctions, but equipment auctions. It's the same thing, right? An auction's an auction. So I just loved that. So I only started this yesterday, and I only have farmers. Now, I chose 28 count Muddy Petal Lugana from Bestitch Me. And I'm using the called for floss. So I only have a little start. So don't feel like you're getting left behind. I think Vanna was starting today. Jump in, use the hashtag. And we'll just encourage each other to stitch on Told in the Garden, because their charts are beautiful. And I will tell you, it was really, really hard for me to choose which one to start. But there's about 12 that I would like to start. So when I get done with this one, I will start another one and use the same hashtag. My goal is to keep one of these going at all times. So if you would like to join us, join in. The more the merrier. Okay, and go check out Vanna Pfeiffer as always. She is so awesome. Her finishing is gorgeous. She shows in her last Flosstube, she shows, oh my gosh, Song of the People. And she has it framed in the back. And then I think she's working on Swiss Dairy Farm. I think that's what it's called. Beautiful. Those trees alone, I wanted to stitch that. I had kitted this one, so I was sticking with it. But one of those may be my next one because they're beautiful. All right, I am into haul now. It's a lot, so it's a lot. I'm out of hand, okay? But just leave it at that. All right, these are also from 141 Designs. 141 Design Company, Etsy, yes. This is a stand. I know you can't really see it. I don't want to unwrap it because I don't want to lose the pieces because there's some pieces here. But it's a little stand that you can do a finish on. So I bought that. All of these can be painted, which I bought some paint from her. This is another little stand for a finish. There's the part that just slips in for a stand. So I think this is really useful. She shows Mod Podging fabric on this. So I thought that was a great thing. You could also Mod Podge scrapbook paper. We all have tons and tons of scrapbook paper. That would be a great backing even instead of fabric too. So, and then the next one that I got from them is this home sign. Now these letters are loose. They have to be, painted and done. But this fits perfectly up here, Lori Holt's stitch cards. So you could put a little piece in here, although there's tons and tons of patterns where you could find something that was similar to put in there. So I bought that piece as well. They have a lot of really good stuff for finishing. So if you are interested, go check them out. I also bought like 4 yards of Priscilla's plaids and Chelsea's checks in black and white. Black and white is my go-to. If I don't have fabric that matches, that is my go-to. I will get black and white. And so hence why I got 4 yards. Matter of fact, I was talking to Stacy, the 911 stitcher, and I was telling her, I have tons of fabric. I don't need to buy any more fabric. And then like literally 5 hours later, I think I messaged her back and said, I lied. I bought more fabric. A lot more fabric. Very quickly it came. So I have the fabric. I will use that for the home pieces as well. So I wanted a lot for them. All right. Let me show you what I got at Hobby Lobby yesterday. So I finally was able to get the spring bench. It's a potting bench. I think I saw this on Java Girl Stitches last year and I was able to find it. I can show you you could screenshot that if you need to. I don't know if they have this online. That I don't know. But you can put a finish on here and like a little decoration. You don't even have to put this on a, you could set this on the floor if you wanted to. It wouldn't have to be on a table even. You could put this on a floor. Or I could put this in the middle of my table, my kitchen table. I like to put a finish there. That would be really cute. Okay. What other goodies do I have? I got a T ruler for cutting some board. I know that's super exciting, isn't it? All right, they had the Artisan Floss marked down, and you can see the price. Now, they had some other sets. I only got the black and white. I have used this. It is not my favorite floss, but in black and white, I use black and white like sometimes to like sew the backs, do circles and stuff, and I figured that was fine for that. So for $1.49, that was fine for my finishing. So maybe not stitch with. I mean, it stitches okay. I've used it. It's, how do I describe it? It's not silky. It's more cottony, and it's, I don't know. It's not as nice as DMC. It's not as nice as Color and Cotton. I think Color and Cotton is real, like, even though it's DMC base, it's silky. It feels silky when I stitch with it. This is a little rougher when you pull it through the fabric, but it's perfect for finishing. So I bought those. Okay, I also bought these little boards. These were in the spring shop. I'll show. And they're just little, I don't know what you call these. I call them mini charcuterie boards. I don't think that's what they're called. I got 4 of them because I thought they would be really good for a Christmas finish on it and make it into a Christmas ornament. And if I used them, then I would need 4 of them because I would do my 3 boys and then his girlfriend 1. I don't know that that's what I'm going to use them for, but I got them. They were on sale in the spring section. I also got these marked down. I was only going to get 4, but then they had 5, and I figured, well, they're marked down from the Easter section. And these are also just a different one. And they have like a little carrot burnt on there, but when I put a finish on there, or you could just put it on the back side, you're not going to see that. I will give you the barcode, but these are Easter, so I'm not sure if they have them online. But you could look at them. Like I said, they had 5. I ended up buying all 5 of them at my store. Okay, the next thing, there is cross-stitch fabric. I might have one more piece, I'm not sure. Maybe this is all I have. No, there's 4, okay. It was marked down to $1.49. So I got 32 count Lugana. This is 32 count, or it's, I don't know what, it's an even weave from Zygwar. And that has little flowers on it. Another one of those. And then this is a gray versus the other one is more tan. So I figured for the price, it was good. Okay. All right. These were also in the spring section. Now, I actually have a finish or a project in mind for this. There was 2 different sizes. So you can see the difference in size. Not much, but the Tiny Town that, is it hands-on? No. Heart and Hand. Heart and Hand does. I thought would be super cute in there. I wasn't sure which one it would fit in, so I bought both of them. They were in the spring decor. I did not pay this amount of money, just so you know. Now, I'm not 100% sure that they'll work. Obviously, it'll depend on what fabric you use. But that's what came to my mind, was a little town in there. And I'm sure Primrose Cottage has a town. Maybe that would be one. Okay, you probably don't want to see my utility knife that I got at Hobby Lobby. This was another Easter piece that I got on sale. And it says, everybody welcome. But it does come like as a little stand. And I thought that would be perfect for a finish on it. So that was $5.99 and then marked down with Easter stuff. Okay, so that's my Hobby Lobby haul. I will show you some of my stitch and frame haul. So I did get 25 count. I think this is Lugana Black from Stitch and Frame. It's a pretty big piece. I only use Aida. My problem with the black Aida is all the black Aida I have is stiff. So I wanted something that was softer, but I'm not sure I'm gonna love stitching on black even weave. I like the Aida because I can see it, but I figured I would try it. I'd put it in my stash. We'll see how it goes. And everything at Stitch and Frame was 25% off, so that's another reason. All right, I won't show you all the threads, but I will show you, I got some threads in there. Probably not what you want to see. You know, some of the specialty threads, they were all 25% off. I mainly got purple and yellow because I don't have a lot of threads like that in my stash. I think I got some beads. That was all marked down. But I got these cute little, I don't even know what you call it, but you snap them together. I'm sure you could make these. And now it's a to-go place to put your little threads when you cut them off. Now, I bought one for my sister as well as a little present to her, so that she'll cut the threads off the back of her things when I have to finish them. It's coming to you. Okay, and notice the lampshade. It's turned the right way. Okay, this is my sister's piece. This is Seraphim Fabric Haunted. 32 count, very, very pretty. That is her piece. I FaceTimed her. And then we're gonna split this piece because I actually have a really big piece. This is 14 count Aida Seraphim Witching Hour. And this is beautiful. So very, very pretty. So I'm gonna split this with her. All right, so that is that. Now let me show you my patterns that I bought, but some of this is not from down there. I just stuck it all in this bag. So if I remember where I got it from, I'll let you know. This is my fourth one of Fall on the Farm from Little House Needleworks. I'm in the club to get this monthly. I just get the chart. And I think I'm getting this from Crazy Annie's Stitching. I have decided, because this is one of my must stitches for the fall, I'm going to stitch them, I think, in groups of 3 and then finish them as flat folds. That's what I think I'm going to do. Super excited. There are some must-have fall stitching that I want to do. I'm trying to get some of this out of the bag so you don't have to continually hear me. My May kit came from Pine Mountain Designs. That's all the kit, everything you need in there to make the design. I cannot wait to stitch these next year. Like May, I would be considered, that would be summer stitching. I didn't get it in time to start it this year. So I'm going to start these next year, but I love these. These are gorgeous. I am in the club. I put the information in my last Flosstube, I believe, on the club. I did hear that the club closed for a little bit because they ran out of stands, because you get the finishing stand with it. I don't think this, yeah, it shows it on here on the finishing stand. There's the stand. You can't see the bottom of it, but they ran out of them and they were waiting to get more. But I think you can sign up for a wait list. So it has been very successful. These are super cute designs. This is Home Sweet Home by the Bay Needle Art. I also get this monthly, and this is the next one. Okay, now some of this came from Stitch and Frame, and I liked this little one. It was 25% off, so maybe this isn't a chart that I would have normally picked, but I thought it would be cute if I left the words off and did it as a Christmas ornament for my son's girlfriend. She is planting her first garden this year. And I thought that would be cute as an ornament. And it's 65 by 50. And if I leave the words off, that makes it even smaller. Although it does say that you can do the English version of garden. So maybe I'll leave it on and just stitch the English version. This one I think is from 123 Stitch. This is Uber Turkey from Bent Creek. And you're supposed to stitch this over 2 on 18 count, and you make it a banner. I don't know how I'll do this one, if I'll do it as a banner or if I'll do it smaller. But I really liked that one. I have one that I bought actually years ago from 123 Stitch. It is the St. Patrick's Day one, and they finished it as a banner. So I might do this one. Oh, before this reminds me. So my gnome banner that I have, I just looked at it. So I have been talking in my last one how the sticky Velcro was not really working. So someone nicely commented that it looked like my dowel rod could be taken out of my hook and that I could make a channel and then I wouldn't have to use the sticky Velcro. Yeah. I didn't realize mine came apart. And so like literally I stitched a line across the top of it and I have a channel that it. So to all my viewers that say I inspire you, thank you. You inspire me to look at what I have. I was like, no, mine doesn't come apart, I don't think. And then I'm like, yeah. So I have found that my sticky Velcro, it was coming apart up there. I don't, like in the springtime, we don't open our windows because there's so much pollen. So it can't be the humidity because my house isn't humid. I don't know. When I took it off, it stuck to everything but the fabric, just so you know. It was sticky to my hands, it was sticky to the trash can, but it would not stick to that fabric, even though it says fabric Velcro. Okay. I did take it off and I sewed a line right across the top of it. You can't even see the line from, I mean, you can if you really, really look, but I made that channel in there, even though it was like finished. So I'm okay with it. I love it. And yeah, now I don't have Velcro there. So thank you. Thank you for sending me that message. As I told my husband, sometimes I do think it's not blonde, but that's insulting to blonde people because I've had blonde hair before. Just so you know, I've had every color of hair. So anyhow, totally my mistake that my hook comes apart. All right, we're gonna move on from that now. But there you go. So even people that finish on Flosstube and you think, oh, they're so inspiring. Not so much. All right, anyhow, moving on. This is from Bent Creek Rise and Shine. I cannot remember who I ordered this from, but I ordered it and I think it was super cute. I got Let Love Rain down at Stitch and Frame. And that one is, let me see if I can get a big picture of the sampler. There are a couple of charts in this book. So if you didn't know that, this book actually has a couple of charts. So it has this one in the back of it in it as well. And it has this little heart one. And then it has the big sampler that you've seen. And I think there's a picture of the bigger sampler. Let me see. I thought there was. Maybe not. Oh, yeah, here it is. So it has 3 charts in this book. So I did not know that when I bought this. So if you didn't know that, this book is totally worth it from Teresa Kogert. So, okay, so I got the Prairie Schooler new ornament. Some people have said that they don't like that it says Arctic Lights because penguins are in Antarctica. I normally, a lot of times, don't put those words on mine. I generally maybe put like the date or something, so that didn't bother me. But I think the penguins are super cute, so that will go in my Prairie Schooler ornament stash. I also got Daisy May from Stitching with the Housewives. This was from 123 Stitch. And then I got Mrs. Claus Bakery Up on a Pedestal, also from 123 Stitch. And then I bought Bent Creek Hog. I have the other 2. One is a hen and one is And so this is the third one. I didn't stitch any of these this time, but they were in my basket to do. I just didn't get to them. So I like that I have all 3 of them now. So these are from Stitch and Frame. These are some charts. This is a dimensions chart, super cute. It's a kit. And then I got this stocking kit from down there. Once again, they were 25% off, so I thought, yeah, I probably need to go ahead and get that. This was another one. I think this is really pretty. This is Summer Cottage. And what I noticed, I don't have a lot of summer or spring. Like, I don't really have any big ones. And so I thought this was very, very pretty. And so I bought it, but I don't really have a lot of, like, you don't see a lot of just like summery charts in the dimensions kits. I don't know. I just really liked it. So 25% off made it even better. Okay. Let's go ahead and get the rest of these out. Remember, some of these are from down there and some of these are haul, and yeah. So this is what I was talking about. This is Christmas Town from Heart and Hand, and that's what I thought I could do in that finish, in that tray. I don't know about the size. I'll have to work it out and see if the size works. But I'm betting it probably would. I might have to, you know, finagle the fabric a little bit, like what size I use, but I thought that would be cute. And they have, this is Christmas Town, and they also have Patriotic Town. And then I think I got another one, but I don't think I have Patriotic Town. I saw where they came out with a spring one. Spring Blossom Town, I think is coming out. This is another one I got at Stitch and Frame, and this was a garden one that I thought would be cute for Kenzie for an ornament. Or even like a little pedestal finish because she's been growing stuff. So this is her first time ever having a garden. And bless her heart, she's jumping into it full throttle. I love it. Okay, so she says the other day, well, my husband was up there at the farm, and he says, did you know that she has 42 squash plants? And I said, what? 42 squash plants? Everybody in our whole entire neighborhood is going to be eating squash. Just so you know, everybody's going to eat squash. And so my husband, like, he doesn't want to discourage her and, you know, make her feel bad and everything. But he's like, most people plant like 4 or 5 plants of squash. And she's like, I have 42. So we are all giggling, but you know what? I told her, I said, we can work on learning how to can, and then we'll share. So my sister, Sharon, you might be getting some squash too, if all the plants are good. We'll see. This is her first time gardening. She doesn't have a lot of, she doesn't have a compost pile. She's starting that. So like, we don't know what the plants are going to do. So we'll see. But I just laughed when she said she had 42 plants, and I was like, so we'll be eating squash forever. If you have any good squash recipes, send them my way. This is Christmas Claus from Salty Stitcher Designs. Now, I don't really like the words Christmas Claus, but I love this as a pattern. I wouldn't do Christmas Claus in it. I would just do it as a beach pattern. But I don't know. I watched this show on Discovery about red. It's a certain type of crab in a certain area. And like they migrate. And like the whole island is just like red crabs walking across it. Which this is what it reminded me of. So I really liked that. And I just think that's so cute. So I definitely want to stitch this next year. My sister gave me this magazine that she had, that she used, and I got it for, there's a couple of things in here I actually like. I actually think this is really pretty. I actually think that's very pretty. I don't know if I'd stitch it, but it's very pretty. This was inspired by Erin at Perpetual Projects, and she did the Valentine Village. And it's got beading on it and everything. And I was like, oh my God, this is so cute. And she showed the front of the magazine. I was like, wait a minute. And I asked my sister, she's like, you can have it, I'm done. And so I have this for next year to stitch. I think that's so cute. And maybe that will go in one of my trays. I don't know. We'll see. My sister stitched, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find it. She stitched the deer one in here, which is all she wanted to stitch. So here it is. She stitched that one. So, some good ones in there. This is February 2022 from Just Cross Stitch. There's actually a couple cute things in there. Okay, this is from 123 Stitch, Teresa Kogert. Beautiful. I mean, she just knocked it out of the park. Beautiful. Now, what I find on some of these with Teresa Kogert is this is all stitching. I'm not going to stitch all that. I'm going to stitch Mary and Baby Jesus, and yeah, I'm going to change that. I also got this from Stitch and Frame. I actually saw this finish down there. It's really cute. Now, I will tell you, I have this fabric, this exact fabric they use, and I stitched a Valentine's little freebie on some black and white fabric. I am not a fan of this. In the like the faded gingham part, it is really, really hard to see. So I think I'm going to try to order some gingham fabric from Fabric Flare that would be Ada. It would be easier to stitch, because on that Lugana, it is really hard to see in those sections, and I did not enjoy it. I wouldn't want to do a piece this big on it. It's pretty, but that fabric was not my friend. It is 126 by 98. So it's not super, super big, but I can't even imagine doing one this big on that fabric. The black and white was a nightmare. The red will be no different. And I literally have it. Nope, not using it. Bent Creek Cabin in the Woods. I really think that's pretty. I think these are new market releases, I think. But I thought that was very pretty. Now, these I got off of Amazon, and I have some Soda Stitch patterns, but I've never had their patterns, like their printed patterns. So these are Movies in My Memories. How cute are they? So Audrey Hepburn, Marilyn Monroe, Scarlett from Gone with the Wind. I think this is Juliet from Romeo and Juliet. The name escapes me now. And is that Pippi Longstocking, or I don't know. I don't know which one that is. Maybe, no, Annie. Annie, maybe that's Annie. I don't know, but I thought they were super cute. I really loved this one because Gone with the Wind is one of my favorite books that I've read. And so I really, really enjoy that one. I'd love to do her as a stand-up. I think she's so pretty. And I love Gone with the Wind, and I love the book Scarlet. I do not like the book Rhett Butler's People. That was bad. It's not good. Scarlet is good. Scarlet is good. Scarlet still has that where she keeps making mistakes, but her heart is actually in the right place, but she keeps making societal mistakes. But she gets to a point where it doesn't matter anymore. And she realizes that all those societal restrictions for her just don't fit her, and she's going to be who she is. And so I really like the one Scarlet, but not a fan of Rhett Butler's People at all. Anyhow, this one is a Soda Stitch Precious Gifts. I think that's so sweet. This is 10 Little Indians. I think this is absolutely adorable, and I think it's really, really cute that you could do it vertically or horizontal. I love that they show you that. I think that's cute. This one is The Village and Fairy Tale, and you're not really going to be able to see it well, but it's a like coffee shop, flower shop, dress shop, bakery, sweet home, dollhouse. It's so cute. Would they not be adorable? Very, very cute. Here's another one, One Day in the Country. Really sweet. Once again, here's some different finishes that they show. I really like that. This one, what is it? Abracadabra. Mama Bear Stitchery stitched this one. Beautiful. She did a great job with that one. I think it's like it looks like a greenish, bluish fabric. It's so pretty on that fabric. So, our Brilliant Wedding Day. Once again, very, very pretty. This is one I got off the Stash Unload, and I really liked the Santa, and I liked the pumpkin. I'm not crazy about the boat, but if I just did the watermelon, I really like the watermelon part. So let me show you. There's the pumpkin, there's the Santa, but look at the boat. The bottom of the boat is a watermelon. I don't like the boat part, but I like the watermelon part. So I think that would be really cute to do as a finish for summer. I think that would be really pretty. Here is Big Hearted Town from Heart and Hand. So that's the other one I had. I do not have Patriotic or the Bloom one. So those are on my list. That was from Stitch and Frame. This is also from Stitch and Frame. And this was a pattern that I have looked at when it came out. But at this point, my son doesn't, he's not on a lacrosse. He played travel lacrosse and then lacrosse for his school. And at that point I was like, oh, but he doesn't play anymore. So I don't know, I get it. But at 25% off, I decided to get it. And I'm going to stitch the years that he played down below. And that's going to be a Christmas ornament for him. And it says, my goal is to deny yours. And he was a defense player. So that is perfect. And I'm just going to stitch the years. I thought that would be cute for him. Here's another one, Love Lives Here from Teresa Koger. And it's another one of those books that has multiple patterns in it. So this is also in there, I think. Let me double check on that one. I think I double checked it, but is that one in there? Maybe that's, no, that's book 2. So that would be in book 2. I think maybe just the 2 on the cover, and they don't have any other pictures in here. I was looking. So just these 2. But then this would be in book 2, Love Makes the World Go Round, if you were interested in that one. But these 2 are really pretty. I really like this one. And then I got the Mousecapades, Mice on Ice, and Up on the Rooftop from Lumerous Fiber Arts. These are the only 2 they had, so I got those at my LNS because those are super cute. They'll make sweet. I think I could do these as ornaments. Oh yeah, 61 by 61. Yep, those will be fine as ornaments. Those are super cute. Also at Stitch and Frame, I got another stocking because 25% off, why not? And I got Twin Peaks Primitives Lady Liberty. I really thought this was a beautiful chart. This was the only one that they had. They had, this came out in a set of like 3 kind of patriotic themed ones. And this is the only one they had. But 25% off, I wanted it at full price. I was getting that. And then this is The Witch Next Door from Primrose Cottage. And adorable. I mean, really, that's just adorable. And the last one I got from down there is from Franny Ritter Designs. And I don't think I'm saying that right, but it's Bright Book Lover Santa. And I thought that was a great Santa. Isn't that cute? I love his coat. It's just, I really like that. They had one, it was the same pattern, but it was rustic one. I liked this one better. And this would be a cute ornament because it's 50 by 72. So I could do that on small fabric, and he's cute too. I have a thing about Santas. Like, I love Santas. It's why I stitch the Prairie Schooler Santas, because I want my trees to have Santas on them. So I think this is going to be a must stitch. All right, that is all that I have. That is an incredible amount of haul, but like I said, I kind of stepped into the 25% off at my LNS. I did not know, that was announced Monday or Tuesday, Monday, I think. And then I went down there on Thursday. and I was able to get a spot. I had to call and get a spot to get my framing. They were only taking framing up to Saturday. So I was able to get a spot. I was able to get my framing in, which is great. Super sad, but I also didn't intend to buy tons of stuff, but at 25% off, it was a good excuse to buy. And I was able to get some of them, you know, like I had been looking at this chart for a while. And this one, I just hadn't purchased it yet. So, good excuses for me to buy them. Sad to see it going though. All right, I am now going to end this floss tube since we're well over an hour, and I've rambled on, but hopefully next time I will have new fully finishes for you. I am still stitching. I will begin stitching fall on June 1st, and I have quite a few patterns that I must stitch. I have one from Finally a Farm Girl that is Jack. Is it Jack the Scarecrow? I'm not sure the name. Adorable. That is a must stitch. It is getting stitched. I have Fall on the Farm I want to stitch. I also have Maple Lane from Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery that I want to stitch. So I have a couple of fall ones that I really, really want to do. So I'm excited to move to get into fall, but I'm also sad that I didn't get to everything I wanted to stitch. But isn't that the way? So if you're new here, I have a basket that I pull the seasonal stuff, and I keep going through that basket to pick new starts or, you know, what I need to start a project. I know I'm not going to finish. I'm not going to get to stitch everything in that basket. There's no way. But I like being able to look, and it's surprising because when I put stuff in that basket, I always think, oh, I'm going to stitch that one. That one's going to be the first one that I stitch. And then when I go through the basket, I rarely just pick a chart. I generally empty the basket, go through it, and put away ones that I don't want to stitch right then for whatever reason. And it's rarely the ones that I thought I was definitely going to stitch that actually get stitched. It's very funny because it's whatever hits me at the time, which is super fun because I never know what I'm going to stitch. So, all right, join in at the Toldinthegardensal. That's our hashtag. If you have a Told in the Garden pattern that you've wanted to start it. Start and stitch with us. There's no ending to the SAL. There's no restrictions. Any of the Told in the Garden patterns. Use the hashtag so we can see your progress and encourage and enjoy all of the great patterns because they are beautiful. All right. I hope to see you in 2 to 3 weeks. Happy stitching, and I'll see you then.